Second.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes. Okay, going into the department business, Michael, road department and cemeteries.
Just a comment on number 2, the motion there to, we want to purchase a 2-ton, what we call hot box. This will allow us to not only get 2 tons at one time, but to keep the mix hot even overnight. And as you probably know, the hot mix is easier to use, and not only is it easier to use, but it will stay in the hole better than the cold mix. When we compared with what state purchasing was offering, the state purchased 2-ton that came the closest to what we're buying from Steel Masters of Fieldsville, PA. They wanted over $20,000 for theirs. And this one is just under $18,000.
This is something that Austin Township had a long time ago, simply because the number of miles that we have in roads in Austin Township. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Anything else, Michael?
No.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the police department. Chief Cavalier.
I have nothing to add.
I'm going to stop now because I should have done this before, but once again I was confused. Now that we're in the police department, a young man, I call him a young man because he's basically my age, who served the township for 26 years as a police officer and retired because of a problem with health as a lieutenant in our detective division, has passed away. I would like you please to stand in honor of Richard Kashjak, and let's have a moment of silence. I thank you. We honor people and celebrate their life. And the best way of doing that is a nice little thing to think about them. In my case, I grew up with Rich Kashjak, so I knew him. Someday I'll tell you some of the good stories about Rich. Okay, let's move on now to the fire department.
I'm just asking for a resolution. This is nothing new, it's just housekeeping for the beginning of the year. We, from time to time throughout the year, ask Chip Comstock to give us some findings, especially on inspection and day-to-day operations and anything that involves fire revised code at times. So I'm just asking that we continue on. I think he had a small increase in his fee of $5 an hour. But it's the same as we've always been doing.
It's so important to get somebody who's going to represent you, who is very qualified for your department, and he certainly has a reputation for that. Anybody other comments?
No. It's
Okay.
well worth the additional $5 as well.
$5. Okay.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
All right, Darren, what's going on in the zoning department?
I'd ask the board to declare the following properties of public nuisance under ORC 505.87. 5742 Baylor Avenue, large amount of trash and garbage at the curb. And 4226 Mahoning Avenue, mattress behind a retail building.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh my goodness, this is a banner day. Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
And all I need you to do is approve the minutes for our June 4th, 2018 hearing, and I would ask Mr. McGlynn to abstain because I don't believe he was sworn in yet for that hearing. And don't ask why it took me 6 months to do the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
And then the last item is just a settlement that we and the prosecutors agreed with the property owner in return for removing a couple liens on the property on South Meridian. They were going to tear down the home at that property and another home just south of it. So we'll have 2 demolitions, probably by springtime or early summer.
Excellent. Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes. Okay, Todd, when are you getting ready to depart?
Nothing right now.
Get the snow out of the way.
I have nothing to add to the report.
Jim, senior center?
Just one thing, I just extended our agreement with Ohio State University Extension Service to provide the nutrition classes for diabetics, et cetera. They came in last week and I talked to them, so those programs will continue at the senior center. They're very well received and it's very helpful to have.
Okay. And now moving on to our fiscal officer, Laura. What kind of motions do we need today?
I think just for the report.
Okay.
We were lucky enough to get an advance from the county to cover payroll this week.
Yeah, if there is, why don't we do a little explanation about that, Mike? Or Laura, either one of you would like to speak to that? Because there was some question as to why we're requesting that money and so on.
Yeah, I'll be happy to. I guess the best analogy is if you look at the fact that it's like something that maybe with this, the federal government, when they had some people out of work. If you received your last paycheck at the end of December and you haven't received the paycheck for 2019, you'd be short of cash, and that's exactly the position we're in, that we haven't received any of our real estate tax collections yet, and probably won't receive it for 2 Fridays, Lori, until we'll get an advance on that.
Next week, that's probably.
The 22nd, hopefully we'll get some. So, I mean, that's the issue, we're just in a cash. We have cash in some funds, but we can't use that cash in those funds for the general fund for our departments.
Okay. And we're getting roughly, what, 300,000?
What is it?
We got 264,000.
264.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, a motion to accept the January reports submitted to our board for the fund status, revenue status, and appropriation status.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes. And once again, as we do, to keep us being able to pay our salaries and everything else, we have to do some advances. A motion to approve advances from General Fund 1000 to $37,000 to road number 2031 and $25,000 to police line 2081.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes. A motion to appoint one candidate to Mahoning County's Tax Incentive Review Council. The annual meeting on Tuesday, March 26, 2019 at the Commissioner's office at 10 a.m. Who's available?
I can go.
Oh. You got that? What better person? A motion to that effect? Do we have a motion to appoint Laura?
Nominate Laura.
Okay, we have a motion. Second, please.
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes. Okay, we've hit the point of the meeting where we invite people to come and talk to us in public response. We have two systems, one on camera and one off. Camera is on now, but is there anyone who would like to speak to us off camera? Seeing no one, let's move on to, would anyone like to speak to us on camera? Oh my goodness. All right, then let us go on to the remarks from the board. Laura, you're always the one that starts us off.
And I have nothing more to say today.
Okay. Jim, how about you?
Well, just quickly, first, I'd like to thank Greenwood Chevrolet for inviting us to their cash or cruise giveaway that took place this past Thursday at Greenwood Chevrolet. That is a partnership that Greenwood Chevrolet has with oh my gosh, United Way, thank you. And for those of you that don't know how this takes place, is that your corporation or company or even here at the township can donate out of your paycheck so much per pay. And if you donated $260 annually, which would be $10 a pay, you got your name entered into a drawing, and they drew 5 names from Mahoney County and 5 from Trumbull County to have the chance to win a brand new Chevrolet Cruze. Or you could take the cash option of $15,000 in cash. Now, first of all, I want to make this quite clear, is that Greenwood Chevrolet, Greg Greenwood himself, purchases that car or gives away the $15,000 in cash. So that is just to be commended that Greg, through Greenwood Chevrolet, he and his family have done that now for 9 years. And I think when you look at an individual like Greg, who just continually gives back to the community, that is to be commended. So they had 10 individuals, 5 from Mahoney County, 5 from Trumbull County there on last Thursday to give away this Cruze. Now, ironically, one of the ladies on her way there gets into a car accident. She got into a car accident, so she was the odds-on favorite. Everybody was hoping she'd win the Cruze. However, she didn't. But you could not pay for the suspense that was there because it went all the way to the 9th key to start the Cruze. So they gave away a brand, and the lady took the Cruze because she said it was built in Lordstown and it's a good quality car. So I thought that was really cool that she kept the car. But thank you to, once again, to Greg at Greenwood Chevrolet. Once again, everybody there at the staff, they're so wonderful, nice to deal with, and really appreciate them inviting us to that. A couple of upcoming fundraisers. Well, wait, before I should go back to this at Greenwood Chevrolet. The Car Expo is currently going on in Cleveland. So with that being said, Greenwood is having a one-day auto extravaganza this coming Saturday at Greenwood. And I believe the times, double check, you can contact Greenwood Chevrolet for this, for the times to be exact. You may know, Doug, from 11 to 1, Billy Price from the Cincinnati Bengals, our hometown hero, is going to be signing autographs. So bring your Ohio State Buckeye stuff down, bring your Cincinnati Bengal paraphernalia down and get it autographed. Billy will be signing autographs. I also want to take the opportunity while we're at it. Just this past weekend on Saturday, Leo Conley, when we speak of heroes, was finally, after 51 years, awarded the Purple Heart. And I talk about our veterans a lot, and I say when they sign up to go into the military, they don't stop their efforts when they get home. This is a gentleman that, to this day, still works hard for veterans and works hard for our current troops. He was a big part in the renaming of Patriot Boulevard. He helps with putting on the different activities here at our senior center. I know he's worked over there to get veterans their benefits. And he actually helped when my grandfather passed away. We didn't have a whole set of my grandfather's medals. And Leo took it upon himself to go, and he got a full set of medals reissued. He and Sam Swatter worked on it, and my grandfather, now we have all of his medals. But with that being said, Leo, he is just a true patriot and a true American hero for serving in the military, and I can't be happy enough for him to finally get the Purple Heart that he justifiably deserves. So congratulations to Leo. A couple fundraisers that are up and coming. Baseball and softball night at the races is on February 23rd. That is a fun event. It's every year at St. Anne's Church. And see one of the baseball players or coaches or softball players and coaches to get your tickets to that. It is so much fun. Also, don't forget our Junior Women's League Taste of Austintown is on March the 2nd. That's coming up. That will be held at Immaculate Heart of Mary. That is a great event, and tickets for that are $30 a piece. And believe me when I tell you, you can't buy a meal anywhere that you'll get served that night for $30, because you go from place to place, station to station, and they have wine sampling to desserts to all kinds of different food. It's unbelievable. So see one of the Austintown Junior Women's League members for your tickets to that. The Austintown Rotary on March the 9th is having a reverse raffle. That is a huge fundraiser for them. Tickets are $150 and can be purchased by contacting any member of the Rotary. So please take care of purchasing your tickets through them and attending that event. That is so much fun to be a part of. And then I've just got a couple items that I better do so I don't get in trouble. Number one, don't forget Thursday is Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to my little Valentine, Gabby. Everybody, this will air in enough time for you know to send the flowers to the wives, girlfriends, and whoever. So don't get yourself in trouble. I helped you out. And then the most important woman in my life, happy birthday to my mom this coming Saturday on the 16th. And then it is now 46 years anniversary to my parents, Tom and Sue. So 46 years. They're embarking on the 50th. If they can deal with me for 41 years, they can deal with one another for 50, I'm sure. So, happy birthday to my mom and happy anniversary to my parents. So that's all I got.
You just check all of our stuff.
Are you guys ready to adjourn? I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Doug, you have things to say.
A couple of things. I was at the Greenwood event also last week, and I'll tell you what, it's quite an extravagant ordeal for everyone. Greg Greenwood is probably one of the most generous people, business-wise, that you'll find in the community. And he just does a great job of donating and providing the community with items whenever you ask. He never turns you down, so in that respect. But congratulations to Greg Greenwood and the winner of the car. It was the 9th one. A few years ago, it went all the way to 10 and didn't start because the battery died. People were panicking. But they did get a new battery in it a few years ago. But Jim hit all the big fundraisers. I would say if you're not involved in the Drive It Home campaign yet, you should get involved in that. Mary Barra, the GM CEO, sent a letter recently to all the school children who wrote over 5,000 letters and pictures. And it was kind of a, made her feel good type letter, I think, but as far as committing to anything yet, there was really no commitment. It was more about helping the people relocate, and those who didn't choose to relocate, helping them get ways to get jobs and funding. But if you're not involved in that Drive It Home campaign, you should get involved in that, because it not only affects GM, it affects all the suppliers that are around here. And as you see, some of them already are having to close down and stop business because they just don't have the business anymore, from 3 shifts to 1. So please make sure that you get involved in that. On a personal note, last Monday night, my wife, who is very stubborn, an Irish woman, as Andy can attest to, and Kev and many other people here, had a heart attack. She was in the midst of a heart event, a cardiac event as they call it. I've learned a lot in the last week, but I cannot say enough about 2 of our EMTs Jen Arendon, who works for Lane Ambulance, and Kelsey Mush, who works for, as a firefighter and an EMT, paramedic here with our own fire department. If it weren't for these two young ladies, I'm not sure my wife would be here. She had multiple heart attacks throughout the evening going down, and once we were at the hospital, and had 100% blockage in the main artery, and was able to survive that through a stent, which her doctor was able to put in and clear it out. But had it not been for these two young ladies and Andy Frost, our fire chief, and multiple other people, including her sister, Eileen, and if it weren't for the dedication and the training they have, I probably wouldn't be here. I'd probably be planning a funeral right now at this stage. But again, thank you to our fire department, Lane, and the two young ladies, because if it weren't for their training and help, it'd be a whole different story for my wife. She is home resting and doing very well at this point. So again, thanks to you guys and your department. Again, Sam was here talking last week about how they saved his life, and we were joking with him, and you don't think it's ever going to affect you, but a week later, it affects my family personally, and again, I can't say thank you enough.
Very good. We were teasing Doug because he had to get his sister-in-law to be able to force his wife to force his wife to get
Where she had to go.
check up and that sort of thing. But hey, that happens. Nobody wants to believe they're getting sick. Let me just a few things that Jim said. Leo Conley lived in Austintown for a long time. He lives in Boardman now. But between Leo Conley and Ken Jakubek, this town is very, very veteran imposed. We really are. But these gentlemen, they did the bridges with the flags on them and so on, and all these other things going. And in many cases, when we talked about Leo, we simply say, if you want to help him, join him. If you don't want to help him, get out of his way. Because Leo is a very pushy, strong man. It is something to be able to. We knew about this, about him being stabbed and everything else, and he really didn't push the issue about getting his Purple Heart that he certainly had. But keep in mind, Leo Conley is a well-decorated soldier. I mean, he has all kinds of decorations. As a matter of fact, he's in the Ohio Military Hall of Fame for valor. But he finally, after 51 years, because of Congressman Ryan and a few other people, got the opportunity to be honored, and we really appreciate that. Joyce Pogany is you know, I call her the mother of Austintown, but I want to congratulate her and the Austintown Historical Society, because every year they have different things, and they have a great dinner where they talk about the Historical Society. It is a strong group. My asking to everyone in Austintown is there are so many excellent groups here who do things for Austintown. If you have some time, I know work is work, but if you have some time, you know, look around and see what organization you would like to join, and go ahead and join them. Congratulations to our girls varsity basketball team. They have clinched the title in the Red Division of the All-American Conference for their victory. It's been a while since we've had that going for us, and so I congratulate the coach and the students involved.
See, I didn't take that off your list.
No, you didn't take it
I
off.
let you have
You
one.
had that, that's
I'll let you
right.
have one.
Okay.
Jim did.
But that Rotary is coming up. You better, if you want a ticket, it's just like the Taste of Austintown. There's only so many tickets. So if you want to go to any one of those organizational fundraisers, and they're fun, not just excellent food and so on, make sure you do so. I believe that is it for me. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss anybody that I want to talk to. Okay, now, we have a motion, please, for executive session to consider the appointment, employment, discipline, and compensation of public employees, or preparing for conducting and reviewing negotiations and bargaining sessions to public employees concerning their compensation and the consideration and conditions of their employment.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Frano?
Yes.
Mr. McLean?
Yes.
In association with Austintown Local Schools and Austintown Township.